Revelation 6 continues with the breaking of the third seal. With the breaking of the third seal, we once again see John the Revelator being called up. And when John is called up this time, what he beholds is a black horse. And the rider on the black horse is said to be holding a scale. Friends, in this particular situation, the scale represents economic hardship. Now, when we think of economic hardship, what we are speaking of is famine. Famine not only in the sense that the supply of food is limited, but also it refers to the cost of the food, meaning that it will be so high it would be practically unaffordable. And we see this evidence in the fact that a voice calls out from among the living creatures and says, 2 pounds of wheat and 6 pounds of barley for a day's wage, but do not hurt the oil and the wine. Now, what exactly does this mean? You see, friends, at the time when the Bible was written, 2 pounds of wheat and 6 pounds of barley would be just enough to keep you alive for the day. In other words, with the breaking of the third seal, your wage for that day would only be able to feed you for that particular day. There would be no surplus. There would be no more than enough. It would be dire straits. That is exactly how things would be. So what does it mean when the voice cried out and said, do not hurt the oil and the wine? You see, friends, with the breaking of the third seal, this will take place at the very beginning or start of the tribulation. At the very beginning, at the very start of the tribulation, there would still be some inequity in terms of the pay scale and tax bracket of people. There would still be upper class, middle class, and still the living wage. How do we know this? You see, oil and wine in the times when the Bible was written represented luxury goods. So when the economy is hit at that particular point in time, what would be really rocked to its core would be shelf staple items. Everyday food, food needed to live, food needed to survive. Luxury items would not be affected. But friends, even in terms of high tax bracket lifestyles, high tax bracket households, people do not eat caviar and smoke salmon and drink champagne as everyday habits. That is not how they live. What people need every day to live would be the basic building blocks, would be the rice, it would be the bread, it would be the flour, it would be the oil, it would be the milk. These are shelf-stable products, and this is exactly what it refers to by speaking about wheat and by speaking about barley. When it says do not hurt the oil and the wine, what it's saying is that for a period of time, luxury items would remain the same. It is the staple items that would really be going up so high that it would affect every day. Now, it is very noteworthy that the breaking of the seals happens at the very beginning of the tribulation, but so does the rise of the Antichrist. You see, the Antichrist is going to rise right after the rapture. However, as he rises, and he will be rising very quickly, it will take some time, although it will be a very short space of time, for the 10 kings spoken of in the book of Revelation to give their kingdoms over to him. When they do, during that time, he will roll out the mark of the beast. So at that particular point in time, there will no longer be rich and poor. Everyone would pledge allegiance to the beast and to his mark. The breaking of the third seal happens just before that. As is today, we already see a very large increase in grocery items. There's a hike in price of bread, of rice, of oil, and just basic everyday supplies. Now, why is this? Are we in the tribulation? No, we are not. We are in the period of time called the birth pain time, according to Matthew 24. But friends, you see, the Lord is allowing us to see a very, very, very small glimpse of how things will be in the future. And he is doing this so people would wake up and realize the times that we are in, that people would wake up and realize that Jesus is the only answer. He is the only way. And the truth is, things are going to continue to get a lot worse. So you receive Jesus today and be counted worthy to escape.